Hey friends, you're in my New York hotel room again, facing the other way this time. Got this old timey phone over here, very hip, very designer, since this is a brand new hotel. And just had a great first day of rehearsal with the cast. Everybody's super happy to be revisiting the show. It was just a really fun, really great time. Really great time. And something that's been sort of, I guess, when I sat down to do my post, it was like the first thing that pinged into my mind was something from Sadhguru's book, which I again listened to the last 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours maybe on the plane here, and so I'm still kind of integrating and downloading all the information. But one of the things he says, I think that this is an Indian proverb that he quoted, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure where the phrase comes from, but it's like a saying: those who want to leave a footprint will never learn how to fly. And it's this idea that if we're attached to making our mark on the world, we're not going to be able to transcend it. Because our focus isn't on transcending it. If our focus is on making our mark, leaving a mark, leaving something behind. In other words, if our focus is on our effect on the material world, on the manifest world, we're going to have a hard time transcending it. And the irony of that, of course, is look at Sadhguru. Look at the kind of effect he's having on the world. Entire environmental movements. I did a Mahashivaratri meditation night a couple months ago, and something like 140 million people tuned into that. That's a mark on the world. But obviously the phrase, the saying isn't saying you can't leave a mark on the world. Whatever you do, avoid leaving a mark on the world. It's about, if you want to leave a footprint, it's about where's our focus, right? Where are we pointing our attention in terms of our intention or our I don't even know if intention is the right word. I think, what are we allowing? How much are we allowing our action to simply be the thing, to simply like have its effect and not be attached to the outcome? It's the same thing in the Bhagavad Gita: be attached to your labor, not the fruits of your labor, right? It's that focus on, this is my practice, this is my life practice, I have my own journey, I have my own karma, I have my own circumstances and relationships, all of which are just that. These are the features of my life, and I can engage with those however I choose. I can engage with those to have an effect, or I can engage with those out of an inherent love. This is another. I think I mentioned this a few days ago from the book, from Sadhguru's book. He talks about art, the distinction between art that comes from, or no, maybe this was another one that I picked up yesterday. Art that comes from kind of like an inner turmoil, an expression of inner turmoil, and art that comes from an expression of inherent joy, inner joy. Because according to any mystic you talk to, our natural state, our most fundamental natural state, is a kind of is formless, objectless bliss, total immersion in bliss. So anything that's not that is a game we're playing with ourselves. Anything that's not that is we are somehow entertaining ourselves by pretending that the universe is offering us anything other than that. Now again, I think this is why, the spiritual path and spiritual work, that kind of deep inner work, is not for the faint of heart, because that's not always what it feels like. When we go through the deep trauma, the deep turmoil, the deep conflict of life, it doesn't always feel like we're playing a game, right? And so as a seeker, as someone who I can only, I guess, speak from my own perspective. I hear a master say that, and it resonates deep within me that that's true. I know that that's true, and I can even feel it palpably. There's a felt sense, and I get it, and I become invited into a certain texture of consciousness when I connect with a statement like that, or with the energy of that truth, of that statement. So my job then is how do I bring my experience into alignment with that? It's not that I need to manipulate myself or make myself tell myself I should feel better when I don't, or any of those kind of psychological attempts or judgments. Really, those are those attempts to psychologically say, I should be happy, I don't know why I'm not happy, I should feel good, I should feel eternal formless bliss, why am I not feeling eternal formless bliss? Right? All of that is the mind. All of that is the mind kind of getting lost in something, and generally, again, in my own case, it looks like a lot of judgment. It looks like I have subconscious or semi-conscious preconceptions, prefab notions of what things are supposed to look like, how I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to feel. And if I don't live up to that, or if circumstances don't match that, then I must be doing something wrong, right? Before I know it, it's like I can use the words of a mystic to get myself totally turned around. Because where's my formless bliss? Right? But the reason why I'm kind of dwelling on this is because there's something so there's something very simplifying about connecting with that truth. And I think it really kind of starts with letting go of of what is the effect that I'm trying to have here. How is my action in the present moment a strategy to get something in the future? Because, right, like leaving a mark, leaving a footprint. How am I using my action in this moment to get something down the road? And it's not even, again, we're not trying to deny cause and effect, and we're not trying to pretend like science or like the laws of cause and effect don't operate, or pretend that we're ignorant of them. It's just, can we act from joy? Can I connect? And this is something that I go through kind of as I'm making music, especially, you know, I'm here making an album. We're going to be rehearsing pretty relentlessly for the next several days, and then it's going to be 2 very long recording days. All of that is, you know, pretty intense immersion in a artistic craft. How can I rest into a place of ease and joy? How can I sit with in a place of total presence, and then on command, when that, you know, when they say okay, rolling, or whatever they say in the studio is like, okay, take it away, let the work, let the music come from that bliss, come from that place. And this is certainly something that I'm working with, and that I'm gonna obviously have to allow myself to kind of be on that horse and riding it for a little while, and then fall off the horse and then get back on it. You know, that's the main thing that I'm trying to give myself as a gift in this process. Is that's the ideal, right? The ideal would be I walk into the music studio, I sit down at the piano, and I experience nothing but formless bliss for 2 12-hour days. But if I fall off the horse, then what do I do? You know, how often can I allow myself to come back to the heart of things in that way? Because I'm convinced that that's what makes music. You know, that's what makes music live. That's what makes music really explode, and love resonate through sound. That's how it works. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm bringing myself, and I have to say, it's super exciting to be here, to be working with really, really spectacular musicians and singers, and it's a great opportunity to practice precisely this way of engaging, this way of finding what's primary, because fundamental bliss is primary, and then how to let that evoke and inspire an expression in the world, something that's secondary, but that can emerge from that place, from that amazing field of potential. So that's where I am on rehearsal day 1. It's having fun so far. It's gonna be good. But thanks for watching, people. Much love. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.